Hey guys, Kim Jong Lee here, back with another online commentary battle for Rome Total War. This is Nidintu's second replay that he sent me, and it's against Kleo again, who is playing as Pontus, and Nidintu himself is playing as the Seleucids. So he's brought a bunch of archers, quite a lot of archers, 2 scythe chariot units, and the rest silver shield legionaries. Well, not 2 scythe chariot units. 4 scythe chariot units, my bad. Kleo's brought a bunch of bronze shields, quite a few archers himself, 2 scythe chariots, and 1 Pontic light cav. I'm not sure who to give the advantage to. I think they both have ways to win. Nidintu can win the infantry fight with the Pila if he just gets the Pila in quite nicely, and I'm guessing that these guys are very well upgraded. On the other hand, Kleo does have these pikes, which means the scythe chariots aren't going to be so good. But these scythe chariots will be very effective against Kleo scythe chariots. But yeah, I guess I'd give the edge to Kleo, just based on the starting armies. But that's probably because my preference is not to go up against pikes, without pikes of my own. But Kleo's pretty good with pikes, so yeah, I guess I'd give Kleo the advantage, just based on the builds. But he cops a lot of Pila here. Probably a bit of a mistake pulling these bronze shield back so quickly. These guys are down quite a bit now, and yeah, they're in tight, so not looking so good. And yeah, Kleo's really keen to get this engagement here, which is understandable. He does want it. I'd probably bring these bronze shields in as well. I don't feel like they have much value just sitting out there. I guess they do protect his archers from the scythe chariots, but in that case they should be in loose formation. And he's got to be quite worried about the silver shield legionaries. They can definitely just push through with these testudos and then bust him up pretty bad. And he's copped a lot of Pila, so yeah, game plan for Nidintu is going perfectly at the moment, and not so much for Kleo. Kleo is doing pretty bad in terms of the infantry fight, and his game plan isn't going really well. What Kleo should really be trying to do is trying to hit some of these archers, maybe with these Pontic light cav. Could be quite good. These archers also aren't really going to be doing much against the infantry, so I'm guessing he's shooting Nidintu's archers, which is fine. But Nidintu's also playing very carefully with these scythe chariots. He's not really doing anything with them, which is also quite a good move. So I guess I question a bit Kleo's aggression with the bronze shields, and the way he kind of attacked. He pulled the bronze shield, the Pila screen back, I think at the wrong time, and then he copped a lot of Pila in the face. Yeah, and I'd say things are looking pretty passive in the center, but they're not looking good for Kleo, that's for sure. One of Kleo's archers is routed, and I think Nidintu has maybe one or two more archers than Kleo. 2, 4, 6. I think maybe they had about the same amount of archers. I'm not sure if one of them has upgraded more than the other though. And Kleo should have been able to get an advantage in the archers with this Pontic light cav unit, but he didn't. And these bronze shields, they're sitting out to the side doing nothing. This isn't protecting anything now. This is worthless. Kleo really should bring this in. Nidintu's still playing it quite safe in the center. You could probably start pushing in with this testudo as well. Yeah, it's looking quite good for Nidintu. Long story short, looks like he is preparing to push more units in there. Kleo still has this kind of back row of pikes. that does help him out a bit. But he's got to be really wary of the Scythe Chariots now that all his archers are dead. These Scythe Chariots can just swoop in, get rid of his Scythe Chariots, and then just sit around the back here threatening, or making his bronze shields really scared and stuff. Here, Kleo's pushing back against the Testudo with this pike unit here, and this one here as well. So we'll see how he goes with that. These guys are pretty highly upgraded though, I guess, so it'll be tough to push them back where you want them to be. And this does kind of mean that his rear is less protected than he would like. Kleo's only now using this Pontic-like cav, which is a bit late in my opinion. And yeah, Nidintu's now free to kind of roam with these Scythe Chariots. Again, as I said before, these bronze shield pikes, completely useless. Just sitting out to the side. Looks like he's bringing them back in now, but that really should have been done maybe even in the deployment phase. Yeah, this unit's probably finished. It just flew out there. Should have brought this one back maybe a little bit so that it had more margin of error, like more leeway to kind of block that unit. But he does have this unit coming in from the back. This Pontic-like cav unit just dying, probably just to fear. And Scythe Chariot unit running amok here, which could do a lot of damage to these bronze shield pikes if they get in. Nidintu going to walk around with these Scythe Chariots now, scaring things away. Probably going to target this Scythe Chariot unit, which I assume is going to try and suicide into this unit to save Kleo's men. But yeah, looks like Kleo's finished from what I can see. Yeah, Kleo can't win. Yeah, it was just a very poor infantry engagement, and both sides had invested very heavily into the infantry. Kleo couldn't really get the advantage he wanted with the pikes. Very good play with the infantry as Nidintu, getting that early peeler in, and then after that getting a lot of nice peel in as well. Oh my god, these Scythe Chariots just smashing straight into the back of this massive pikes. Can't feel good for Kleo at all. But yeah, just pretty dominating victory by Nidintu. Also keeping these two pike units out to the side I felt was fairly useless towards the mid game, and definitely towards later in the game they were I mean, you can't really chase chariots with them. The best you can kind of hope for is that your opponent will run into them. And against someone with good micro like Nidintu, that's kind of a pretty poor thing to place your hopes on. So yeah, I'm much more in favor of having those pikes with the rest of your army. That's much better. Nidintu knew his game plan, executed it quite well. Yeah, everything went fine for him. He didn't pull anything super special, it was just normal. That was what he was going for from the start. Kleo was probably going for a nicer engagement with the pikes without so much peeler into his face. Wanted to get the peeler into the peeler screen probably instead of his tight formation guys. So it didn't work out for him this time. But I think he could have done more with his Pontic-like cav, and his chariots couldn't have done much more. But his Pontic-like cav probably could have. Yeah, Nidintu had advantages in two key areas: the infantry and the cavalry, and that gave him a pretty easy time. Crush the enemy. I'm not surprised at all. So well played Nidintu. Everything just really fell into place for him. Not so much for Kleo. Everything just kind of went downhill after the start. But yeah, well played to both. I'm sure like Kleo could have done better. But yeah, well played to both players, and I'll see you guys next time.